There's no business like show business. Boy, is that the truth. In and out of it since 1970, mid-70s. 1977, I was a professional ski photographer working at a ski resort called Purgatory outside of Durango, above Durango, Colorado. When out of the clear blue sky, a feature film showed up. A feature film, a Roger Corman feature film. And they were making a disaster film, an avalanche, name of the movie was Avalanche, starring Rock Hudson, Mia Farrow. And they needed a professional photographer to ski with their cinematographers who were all pros, all Warren Miller, Dick Barrymore type guys that could ski anything, and they needed someone to shoot stills that could ski with them, and they hired me. I was the guy at the time in that area. I'd been shooting for Powder and Skiing Magazine, plus a lot of other publications. Anyway, so that was my first job. From there, all of a sudden I started getting calls for location scouting. So I started location scouting and then location management and production supervisor, producer, a lot of commercials, national, international commercials. Did a couple of Italian commercials, big budgeted stuff, and movies of the week and movies. And then one day I received a call from a guy named Art Rapola. Said they wanted to make a little movie in my area, in the Four Corners area, which is Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, and Utah. That was my backyard, and they wanted to come and scout. We scouted, and a week later, Art called me and said his boss, Frank Marshall, wanted me to come to California. He'd like to hire me as a location manager for this movie called My Life as a Boy Scout. And so I went, and we talked, and I was hired. I worked almost 5 months, 6 months, prepping all of the U.S. Shoot of what was Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Probably the biggest picture I've ever worked on. And then I went to work. I dropped out of production and got into the film commission business for the state of Colorado, worked for the state for 4 or 5 years, and got back out of that, wanted to go back into production. I was out of the loop, of course, at that time. And right around that time, my wife and I, we moved to Italy and did a documentary there with my friend Fabio Micheli. And we talked about making another documentary, but I wound up writing Hybrids. It was a 2-year, more than 2-year, writing, rewriting, changing that until we finally got to where we were going to shoot it. And we wound up shooting it in Ave Maria, although it was first written for Los Angeles, but it was easily rewritten for Florida.
Tony, ready? Yeah. Quiet, please. David. Hey, David. Roll sound.
And the sound man eats a banana. Crackles one. Oh, to make the B-roll shot.
The picture is called Hybrids. It's the story of a brother and sister, late teens, early 20s, whose mother is a witch and their father is a vampire. And therefore they're hybrids and have both of these wonderful traits. So they don't want to be, as teenagers don't want to ever be what they are. So it is a coming of age story. They want to be normal. They want to be like everybody else. and the parents, of course, are against it. And it's the story of a family, grandparents, parents, and children, witches and vampires. It doesn't make any sense at all.
You want him walking all the way there?
No, just 2 steps in. 2 steps in, Mojan. He knows. We've talked.
Here we go. Quiet, please.
The children of the witch Valentina and the vampire Todor are hybrids. They are very powerful, but they are also like typical teenage kids, and they're very rebellious against their parents. And because their parents have been very protective of them, they've lived a sheltered life. So in our story, the kids are breaking out of this life into what they hope is a new life by running away. They've been overprotected by the parents, and now they escape to Florida. Because they are hybrids, the parents have been very protective of them and caused them to have a very, very sheltered life.
Buzz!
Shh! I'm gonna get you out of here.
Hurry!
This is gonna be a little weird, Maria. Glad that I'm here. I've never been to Florida. It's very sunny, and I've never done. It's beautiful, and the crew's really beautiful, and it seems like everyone really has a good camaraderie here, and I've never made a film like this before, so it's glad for me to. I'm very glad to do something that's kind of fun and a little bit more laid back than what I've tended to do so far, and just be here and getting everything out of the way, so I get to play a vampire and a witch all at once. I think it has some good storylines to it, a few different kind of conjoining storylines, and I think it's a good movie for young people, and it has a good moral sense. The past films that I've worked in, primarily I have a film coming out in January called Bronx Bull, which is based on the life of Jake LaMotta, which was portrayed beautifully in a film called Raging Bull in his later part of his life, and I get to play the young Jake LaMotta in that film. And the last thing I did was a film called Aban and Horshid, which is a beautiful human rights film based on a photo that was the cover of the New York Times magazine. That was just really nice.
I'm Leanne Agmon, and I'm playing the role of Valana. I'm originally from London, England, but I've lived all over the world, and I'm based in New York City right now. So I flew in from New York to Florida to do this film, and it's been a really great experience. I'm loving every minute, and I'm so thankful to be here. And some actors that I admire, that I love Kate Winslet and Natalie Portman and all the greats, of course, and Julia Roberts. And yeah, those are the actresses that I really look up to. And I feel very fortunate to be working with such an amazing team of actors right now. I feel surrounded by some really, really talented people. So it's just been a really inspiring process, and I'm happy to be here.
It's been a wonderful experience, surrounded with so many talented, creative people, hard workers, unbelievable hard workers, the entire crew, the cast. I couldn't have been blessed more with having all these people. And we were shooting it here at Ave Maria, Florida. It's almost like having our own back lot. As you can see, this room here we built. This is Aradia's home, supposed to be in Italy. The people that built it do it for a living. That's all they do is build sets. They're from New Mexico, plus my son, Dominic, who also helped build all of this, and some caskets that are out of room out here that we built from scratch that you'll see in the movie. What else can I tell you? It's just that Paul Sorvino was wonderful. It was a serendipity thing with Paul because this happened once before in my life too with an actor named Jack Starrett. But with Paul, he read the script and immediately said he would do it because he always wanted to play Bela Lugosi. And in the interviews that he's done since being here and everything, he says that over and over again. So we're very lucky. It was serendipity. He was playing the Count, the Dracula character, and he played it as Bela Lugosi, and it was wonderful.
It was lined with one of those memory foam pillows. I've accepted this role because I've always wanted to play this character. I've been imitating Bela Lugosi since I was a child. And you know, what now, Professor? More Wolfbane? You know, this kind of thing. So, or I just love the way, the things he said. Like you'd hear, listen to them, children of the night, what music they make. What? His way of speaking was so interesting because he didn't speak English. He had to learn how to say the words phonetically. So that's why, but he's a fascinating guy. So it was interesting. So I'm enjoying it. I wanted to do it because of that. This is going to be very good. This is funny, and it's different. And I love the character I'm playing. Playing like a Bela Lugosi vampire. About the actors on this set. Well, interesting, a lot of them are young, but they're all capable and they're all well trained. So it's a pleasure to work with them so far. And then, of course, with a couple of experienced people like Carolyn Hennessy, myself. We played the love duet, you know. At first we're at each other's throat, and then we start to fall in love. It's an interesting thing. But it's very funny. I think it's going to be a very good movie. Schweikel, he's always there. He's a wonderful producer. He gives us whatever we need to do. He's got a warm, friendly personality, and he's pulled this together, and all good things for him.
In Hybrids, the older generation are a witch and a vampire who have a long, centuries-old grudge. Their names are the Count, who was portrayed by Paul Sorvino, and Aradia, portrayed by Carolyn Hennessy.
I play Aradia in the film Hybrids, and Aradia is maybe 400, 500, maybe even 1,000 years old. We don't know, but she is one of the great witches in the world. And she has a beautiful daughter named Valentina, and her daughter marries Todor. It is such a fun story. It's a comedy, it's heartfelt, it teaches, I think, some interesting lessons about acceptance and living your life to the fullest the way you want to. It's really a lot of fun. I'm so excited I get to act with Paul Sorvino, who's just wonderful, and he actually plays the Count, who ends up being my love interest. So I have never worked with Paul Sorvino before, but I have admired him for years. And I think I can say that safely because, yes, he's done, 160 films and been spectacular. I mean, Goodfellas, Oh God, you name it, he's probably been in it. And so it's very exciting.
Great actor, wonderful man, kind, gentle with everyone. And Carolyn Hennessy, wonderful actress. So we have so many good people. And Philip Willingham, before Philip started acting, he was a ballet dancer. So I wanted to use the abilities of all of them, the actors, their natural abilities, or things that they could do. And we used Philip in a scene where he does a pirouette, and when in post-production, he'll do the pirouette, and at the end of the pirouette, he'll become a bat and fly away.
Blaz, I know you can hear me. Velena, are you decent? Okay, ready or not? Here I come.
I'm playing the role of Toro in the movie Hybrids. I'm from New York, although actually probably by the accent you can tell that I'm actually from England. The movie is great. It's a fantastic family-orientated movie. And my character, Toro, is a very strict character, and his children want to break the chains and go out and experience life for themselves. So this is pretty much what happens, and then we go chasing after them, trying to find them. In comparison to like the Bram Stoker's Dracula, this is a great representation of the family of witches and vampires coming together, and I think it works really, really well. I think it's a great concept. I think it really does offer a lot of comedy value with the different personalities within the movie as well.
One day, after lunch or during lunch, 3 of our people got stuck in an elevator and couldn't go up or down. And being smart alecks like they were, they start pounding on the door, screaming that they were claustrophobic. They were not. And then pretty soon we could hear them singing. But we still had to get the fire department to come, and when they arrived, 2 guys came first. And one guy, the boss, he walks in, and the young man following him with bodybuilder type, and he had the jaws of death. He thought he was gonna pry open these doors, but we actually just had to flip a little switch in the elevator room to reset everything, and we got him out.
While you two fools continue to be fools, I am plotting my life after I capture my hybrids.
Hey, boss, should we feed the girl?
Yeah, boss. I'll give them potato chips. Actually, those are mine. Put them back.
My name is Charles Nolan.
I know him as Professor Prater. All of a sudden you're Charles Nolan?
Charles Nolan, this is...
I'm Vinny, I'm the thug.
Yep.
I thought you were Chuck out his own. I'm
Actually...
Christopher, I'm Tug. We don't know who the hell
Tug.
we are.
Actually, I'm Professor Prater.
Nope. He's our boss. He likes me more than him, but don't tell him.
I have problems with my throat.
And he's a poor guy. I mean, the bottom line is, he got a curse on him for no apparent reason.
I was trying to do like anthropological research, and for some reason the witch put a hex on me.
He's a victim.
Victim. The whole movie is about me trying to rectify myself being violated by this witch.
You're one of the 99%.
I am.
Yeah, you're good, buddy. They're going to be rooting for him. They're going to be rooting for his character more than anybody.
I could have been a legend in anthropological circles.
You're like the person with the heart of gold, but no one knows it.
That's right.
You know what, boss?
Sure.
Always
Yeah.
doing nice things for people. Sometimes he yells at you a lot.
Yeah, he yells at you too, but he
never
means
yells
well.
at me.
The pictures alone would have been worth millions.
That's true, boss. He had a chance to really...
Yeah.
I could have helped humanity.
Yes. And leave a name for yourself, boss.
He's a good-looking guy too.
Yeah.
Real good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Fine butt, works out a lot.
Well, what do you think, men? Shall we conclude this travesty?
We can get you a lozenge if you want, boss.
Yes, there's a 7-Eleven around here somewhere. Well, tell us a little bit about yourselves. Vinny, Tug.
Well, I come from Long Island, New York in the house right here, and proud to be part of this film. Tony Schwager's doing a great job, put a whole great deal together.
Yes, Tony.
And excited to be working with some really, really good actors too. It's really enlightening, nice.
And Tony Randall, the director, also.
Tony Randall's kicking ass out there. I mean, the guy's a true pro, you can tell. Really, really doing some great stuff. And in order to direct me and him, I mean, he's got to be a good director, so.
Well, maybe to direct you.
Well, or you.
I'm from Boston. It's been awesome. Seriously, great crew, great cast. I mean, honestly, these are the only 2 guys I don't like in the whole set. It's been awesome.
What are you going to do?
We're having a good time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm from Los Angeles, and I've come out here to Florida. I'm loving every minute of it, and these 2 guys are fun to work with. It's a great show. Fun to be on.
Your nose is growing.
We're going to do our naked shower scene later on, so we're all excited about that.
They're not going to use that one.
Nobody's going home with us.
Yeah.
And, Tony Randall wanted me to mention. When I first got here, I'd never met Tony Randall in person, so I said, "Is Tony around?" And I didn't know Tony Schweikel and Tony Randall. So Tony Schweikel comes walking over, I give him a big, I go, hey, how you doing? He's like, hey, how are you? I said, oh, obviously that's not the same Tony.
Yeah.
And then the other one came.
Tug made a fool out of himself again, didn't he?
I gotta tell you, boss, words can hurt.
Words can hurt.
Words can
Sorry,
hurt,
I'm
boss.
very
Try
sorry.
to tell him.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Grazie.
What else happened that was interesting? Well, one of our actors, Philip Willingham, who was staying at a hotel 45 minutes from here, poor Philip all of a sudden had a bad back problem, and the 45-minute ride in the van every morning was just killing his back. And Philip wound up sleeping in his dressing room and on the set. So he was always the first one there in the morning. So it was kind of spooky. He got there before the craft service guy got there to turn the coffee on and everything. We had other funny things that happened. For instance, we were fighting rain, and but it rained at the right time, wet everything down for us, and then all our exteriors, we had beautiful cloud cover, God silk for the people in the industry. All in all, good people, and we got good results. Hybrids, go see it. Go see it twice.
At a time like this.
Hybrids I found to be a very interesting project because I like family movies and I also like horror films, so it was a combination of the two. And it was also a comedy, which gave me a chance to do something that normally people don't ask me to do. Mostly I've been known for horror films or for dramas or thrillers. Very little comedy on my resume. So this gave me a chance to stretch and do something different and interesting. Hopefully with good results. We'll see.
Okay, let's move the bed over here to get ready for the dream sequence. I think it's going to look great with the factory in the background.
And the director, Tony Randall, great job. Tony was stretching because everything he had done in the past had been horror or some dark subject, and this is a comedy. And of course, the DP, David Riccozzi, I had worked with David years ago on a movie called Durango Kids. And we had this great grip and electric crew out of the Miami area. Wardrobe from Orlando, terrific. Diane Phelps, she was just wonderful. And Samansky and her crew. Great hair and makeup. We had everybody, and Tomoka, and all of our PAs, and Jade and John and Dino and Tino, and the sound, Ray Raffici and his boom operator. I'm forgetting someone I know right now. My partner Peter Woolley, of course, who was there every day during the shooting productions. And Chip Rodelli, the production designer, and Ronnie James and my son Dominic, who built that wonderful set of Aradia's house in Italy. And then, of course, when Fabio and I hooked up in Italy this past September, when my wife and I went home, we consider that our home for a month. Fabio and I shot all of the second unit stuff that you'll see in the opening of the movie at a wonderful old castle, medieval castle, and a medieval town that has been deserted for decades, but still was standing. Beautiful stuff. You'll see it all in the movie. Go. Take someone with you. Take a lot with you. It's a family movie. Everybody can go see it.
12 Apple, take one. I'm a sound mixer. I record sound, production sound mixer for this movie here in Ave Maria, Hybrids. I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I've been mixing sound for over 25 years. Tony Schweikel called me and said, would you be interested in doing this little movie that we're doing over here in Ave Maria? It's close to my house, and it sounded like it was fun, and I said, okay, I come over and do the movie. And so far it's been a very pleasant experience. Everyone is very nice, the actors are very good, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun here at the movie. And that's what we're doing. I've been doing this for quite a long time. I do commercials and movies and a lot of different things.
Hi, my name is Diane Phelps. I am the costume designer on Hybrids. And thanks to my lovely assistant, Tomoko. Say hi. Hi. This is Tomoko. And she helps keep everything together and on set and on track. So the costume design for this show is kind of very theatrical. The Todor, who plays the father, his look is really inspired by just a Dracula, like a Count Dracula. So he's very nice with a red, with the red shirt and the red tie and the black suit. He's all formal. I'm also, my favorite witches, I think, are Esmeralda, and then the Charm Sisters, of course. I tend to take literal inspiration from them.
My name is Erica Engren and I'm from Los Angeles. On the Hybrids film, I'm doing props and I am acting as the zombie lover character. For the film, originally I didn't know I was going to be doing props, but I am extremely happy I came onto the project as that. I get to make fun things like witches books, and I got to be in charge of things like food props, crystal ball props for the witches, empty wine bottles, different things like that. It's been awesome. I think everyone I've met here is probably the best crew I've ever worked with, and I'm extremely happy to be here.
My name is Chip Rodelli. I'm the production designer on Hybrids. It's a project we've been talking with Tony and Peter Woolley about for about a year now. Tony and Peter and I go back many years. We've worked together on different projects. On this project, we are trying to do a bit of comedy and give it a look of vampire, witches, and some fun. And it's been an interesting experience, and enjoying ourselves, having a good time, and also coming up with a good product.
The house of Aradia the Witch, who's the character in our movie, the exterior we shot at Santa Marina, which is the comune ahead, Policastro, and not very far from where I live in my community of the Hispani. And at Santa Marina, we found this wonderful, Fabio worked with a woman who had this wonderful old medieval house. It had everything, it was just wonderful. As the exterior for Aradia's house, the interior we built at Ave Maria. Confusing, but I hope that made sense to you. So we went there, and it was perfect. The only problem was, here was the house, and the grapevines, and a little drive going down around there, and wood piles, and all this wonderful textured stuff around this old medieval house, two-story house. But right next to it was a modern house. Right behind it was a modern house. Right over here was a modern house. So we pretty much had only kind of one frame to shoot with it. But while we were there, it turns out that this lady's mother and sister and nieces were preparing the tomato sauce from their harvest of that year. And they were grinding or crushing the tomatoes, and they had this big black iron pot on top of a fire. So you see the house and the big wood pile. In front of the wood pile is this big pot, fire and smoke and everything. And it was perfect for a witch's house. Couldn't have been better for a witch's house. And then we had a couple dogs run up and down the drive a few times. We're shooting a simple a simple insert that is only a couple of seconds long to establish the exterior of Aradia's house, which, of course, as I said, was built at Ave Maria.
I'm the gaffer on Hybrids. I'm the chief lighting technician of the movie and worked with the Grip and Electric and had those guys up, me and Danny Abbott, the key grip, and make everything look really nice and really beautiful here. First met Tony on the phone, and he was an awesome guy, and I'm glad to be here, and he put together an amazing crew, and we've been having a lot of fun and making a really good movie, so I hope you really enjoy it.
Remember, this is a comedy. Hybrids is a multi-generational comedy. It's a spoof on all of the horror films that are being made today, and it's couched in the little story of Hybrids. But the message is about family and what's happening in families all over the world with young adults, their parents, and the grandparents who get involved when they shouldn't. But that's Hybrids. Hope you enjoy it.